It's me again. Yes, I'm wearing the same shirt because I recorded this on the same day. So when you're getting this thing, it is Tuesday. Julia is moving into her actual program right now. But we are going to talk about the Communist Manifesto, which is your first seminar. Actually, I'm going to give you an overview of all the seminars that you're going to be doing. Now, if you have access to Canvas, you can see that the seminar readings is its own section. If you don't have access to Canvas, then what is going to happen is in your inbox this morning is probably a email from me that has your first seminar in it, which is going to look something like this. Let me find the Communist Manifesto here, and we'll work on that. Okay. So let me minimize me over in this corner here. All right. So you're going to have a reading. Now, the first two readings are on economic systems in a way. So we're going to have the Communist Manifesto and we're going to have Adam Smith for capitalism. Now, the Communist Manifesto is unique because communism in our brain is intertwined with a government system and a economic system. And we take those two things and we blend them together. Economics would say communist economy does this, but it doesn't really get involved to a government system. While in government, it's hard not to blend the two. Capitalism also is something like this. We have an idea of what capitalism is, and we have a reading, or we will have a reading about capitalism. But we're going to find out that both of these readings are the absolutes, and that all countries in the world tend to blend in somewhere in the middle of these two extremes. Okay, so no country is solely communist, and no country is solely capitalist. They're going to exist on some kind of spectrum. So seminars, this is unit one. The idea behind a seminar is that we have a structured discussion. Somebody in the back of the room, probably Bailey, is like, "Yeah, we get to argue." No, we don't get to argue. Sorry, Bailey. The idea of a structured discussion is to have a discussion or a seminar. You've had these in other classes, probably, I'm sure. I think Mrs. Deppner's had them, Mrs. C has them. It's not a new idea. But for my class, the idea behind it is that you're going to do a reading. You are then going to create a write up from the reading that you will have completed and submit before we do the seminar. On the board, I will write down when the seminar is due. Also, in Canvas, it will also list when the seminar is due. The seminar, hint, hint, nudge, nudge, wink, wink, is always going to be due, the write up is always going to be due right before class starts on the day of the seminar. It should be listed on there, but it's always right before class starts. Why? So you're not trying to do your seminar while we're talking. We need to have this prepared ahead of time. So what do I have to do? Okay, so there is the general overarching philosophy, and I will be quiet for a moment and let someone talk to you about the high jump. I will be quiet now. Hopefully someone said something, but odds are it wasn't enough time, so I'll just explain it for you. Okay, so there's the standard of what we're looking for, and then there's going above and beyond to make sure you've cleared it. The actual assignment on its bare minimum, because these writings are variable, some of you are really good at writing words of eloquence. Some of you do run on sentences. Some of you barely do any sentences. But the minimum requirement is at the minimum, I say minimum a lot, so the minimum of the minimum is 2 pages typed. I know. Some of us like, well, what kind of font? How many spaces? Can I put an extra space after the period? Can I shrink the margins? That's why the high jump bar. Okay? High jump. If you run on the high jump and you jump and you hit the bar, which is the 2 page minimum, then it could stay up because you did a good job, or it could fall and then you fault. You get no credit or you don't get a good grade. And why? Because you smacked into the bar. So I would say, at least for this first one, you're probably better served to spend a little bit more time doing the following. And then after you are done this one, you can get an idea of what you need to be doing on the future ones. What I would do is, for this one, make sure you write something from all the pages. What am I writing? You're writing an argument summary. What is he trying to tell you on every page? And yes, it seems a little bit more complicated, this one, but it probably is going to serve you better in the long run to just go page one and then read page one and then do a what is he trying to say in page one? Then page two, what is he trying, like a paragraph, another paragraph, that kind of stuff. You're probably better served in the short run until you get a good handle on it. Because I know some of you, you're going to give me the seminar sandwich. What do I mean by that? Well, you're going to give me a few things, but one of them is the seminar sandwich. And that's Mr. S will never know. I'm going to write from the first 3 or 4 pages, and then I'm going to skip to like the last 3 or 4 pages, and then I'm going to write about those. And then I'm going to turn it in and say, yep, I read it all. But you didn't. It's a sandwich, and it's a BLT, and I don't like tomato because it's gooey and it gets on everything. So I don't want that kind of sandwich. That sandwich grows. Okay, so that's that one. Some of you are going to give me the released balloon. What do I mean by that? You're going to spend all your time at the beginning writing and writing. So the first 5 or 6 pages, it's going to be super in depth. You're doing your job. Okay, you're blowing the balloon up. Then you're going to realize, hey, I'm close to my requirements. And then the last 7 or 8 pages, you're going to let go of that balloon, and it's just going to go all over the place. And you're just going to wrap it up really quickly and do like the first 6 pages was like 2 pages. And then you realized it. And then the last 8, 9 pages, you just did in a page or in half a page and wrapped it up. Okay. Balance. What is he trying to say throughout all of it? Which is why at the beginning, this one's a little bit longer. So it should be longer than 2 pages. But I hope and I want you to really, you should just go page by page to get an idea so you don't skip things. Okay, so do that for this one. And I know someone's freaking out about now. It's probably Emma, but it's okay, Emma. It will be okay. This is one of the longest ones, and I give it to the beginning, but it's also deceptively long because look, it does all the things I told you to not do. It monkeys with the margins, it monkeys with the spacing, all that kind of fun stuff. Okay, so you're going to read the Communist Manifesto and you're going to explain what's going on in the document. What is this guy's argument? Okay, which is Marx with Engels. And no, they're not Russian. So get that thought out of your head. They're German. Okay, well, they're both dead, but one died earlier than the other, but they're German. So you're going to read this and do that. Then this should be not then. This should be a objective argument, meaning do not bring your own opinions in it. That's what the second part is for. The second part of this assignment is a 1 page, this is my thoughts about this. I do not need you to tell me it was boring. I do not need you to tell me that it was run-on sentences or that he repeated himself. I want you to focus on what you got out of it and whether or not it conforms or refutes or changes your opinion on those things. And someone's gonna say, what if I don't get anything out of it? Well, you're an honor student. You know, answer cloud it, right? Pick something and talk about it, right? So please do that. I want you to develop your thoughts and ideas because not everything is wrong in all aspects. There might be something in a wrong idea that you actually agree with, or that gives you a moment of, oh, I didn't think about it like that. I'm not saying you're all going to be communists. In fact, none of you probably will be, except for you one, and you know who you are right there. Okay, but it's to make you think. Okay, so that's what the seminar assignment is going to be. We're going to have 1 or 2 in every unit for the first couple units until probably spring break. Then there might be 1 after spring break, and then those wrap up. Why? Because we shift from philosophical origins of government to concrete, what do they do? So there's not as much need. Okay, so please do that. You'll upload it onto Canvas. Please do it as a Google Doc and share it. Give me editing privileges. For that. I know it's going to give me a lot of stuff to do, but I want to be able to access it on there. It will be Turnitin. Don't use AI. Okay. Okay. If you have any questions, just wait. This seminar is going to be due on Tuesday when I come back. So our first seminar will be next Tuesday, a week from today. I will always try to give you a weekend to work on the next seminar. Okay. When it comes to that, I say when it comes to that too. So that is what you're doing today. There should be an email that drops as well as any additional things in my lesson plans. Hope you have a good one, and I will see you guys soon.